Jack Turner was an ordinary-looking college student with a reserved personality. He had short, neatly trimmed hair and wore plain clothes, often blending into the crowd. But there was more to him than met the eye. Behind his unassuming appearance was a young man with a history of discipline, strength, and resilience. Jack had recently returned to college after serving in the Marines, where he earned his black belt in karate and faced challenges most people couldn't imagine. Yet he never flaunted his skills. He believed in using them only when absolutely necessary. Jack had just finished his class on a sunny afternoon. His bag slung over his shoulder, he walked toward the parking lot where his old but reliable motorcycle was parked. He planned to ride home, grab a quick bite, and dive into his homework. But life had a different plan for him that day. As Jack approached his bike, he noticed a group of 6 leather-clad bikers gathered near it. They were loud, rowdy, and clearly looking for trouble. The leader of the group, a tall, muscular man with a thick beard named Vince, leaned casually against Jack's bike. His heavy boots rested on the front tire, leaving visible scuff marks. "Hey, kid," Vince sneered as Jack got closer. "This your ride?" Jack gave a calm nod. "Yeah, it is. Mind stepping away?" The bikers burst into laughter. One of them, a wiry man named Rico, shook his head mockingly. "Listen to him, acting all tough. You sure you're in the right parking lot, college boy?" Jack's voice remained steady. "I'm not looking for trouble. I just need my bike." Vince grinned menacingly. "Well, see, we're looking for some fun, and it starts with you. You don't just walk in here and demand things, kid." Jack didn't flinch. He had dealt with tougher situations in the past, but he also knew this could escalate quickly. "Look," he said evenly, "I don't want any issues. Just let me take my bike and we can all move on." But Vince had no intention of letting things go. He leaned closer to Jack, his tone threatening. "What if we don't? What are you going to do about it?" The bikers circled around Jack, cutting off any escape route. Jack's heart pounded, not out of fear, but out of frustration. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He never did. But he could see where this was headed. As the tension grew, Jack recalled a promise he made to his late father, a retired Marine who had taught him everything about strength and restraint. Jack's father always said, "Son, the strongest man is the one who knows when to walk away, but sometimes walking away isn't an option." Vince pushed Jack's shoulder, snapping him out of his thoughts. "What's the matter? Scared?" Jack sighed. "I warned you, don't push me." The bikers erupted in laughter again. Vince moved to grab Jack's collar, but before his hand could make contact, Jack acted. In a blur of motion, he twisted Vince's arm and sent him tumbling to the ground. The laughter stopped abruptly. The other bikers charged at Jack, but they were no match for his training. He moved with precision, blocking punches and disabling them one by one. Within moments, all 6 bikers were sprawled on the ground, groaning in pain. Jack hadn't thrown a single unnecessary punch. He only did what was needed to neutralize the threat. As Jack adjusted his bag and turned toward his bike, he noticed a small crowd had gathered, watching in awe. Some were filming on their phones. Jack hated the attention, but he couldn't avoid it. He mounted his bike and drove away, leaving the stunned bikers behind. Later that evening, Jack was at home when he heard a knock on his door. Cautiously, he opened it to find Vince standing there, holding his arm in a makeshift sling. Jack tensed, ready for another confrontation, but Vince's expression wasn't one of anger. It was one of guilt. "Can I talk to you?" Vince asked quietly. Jack hesitated, but eventually stepped aside. Vince entered, looking around the small apartment. "I'm not here to fight," he began. I owe you an apology." Jack crossed his arms. "Go on." Vince sighed heavily. "I've been in and out of trouble my whole life. My old man used to beat me up when I was a kid. The only way I knew how to survive was by being tougher than everyone else. But today, you showed me something. You could have hurt us bad, but you didn't. Why?" Jack's voice softened. "Because I've seen what real pain looks like, Vince, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. You've got a choice to make. You can keep being the guy who picks fights to hide his pain, or you can be the guy who turns his life around." Vince's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "You're right. I've been hiding, but I don't want to anymore. I want to change. Jack nodded. Then start by making things right. It's never too late. Over the next few weeks, Vince made an effort to turn his life around. He reached out to the other bikers and convinced them to join him in volunteering at a local community center. They helped fix bikes for underprivileged kids and even organized safety workshops for young riders. Jack, meanwhile, continued his studies, occasionally checking in on Vince's progress. The two developed an unlikely friendship, bound by the shared understanding that strength isn't about how many battles you win, but about the lives you can impact. In the end, both men walked away stronger, not because of their fight, but because of the lessons they learned from it. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.